you are joining us as a champion for girls' education and for really lending a hand and doing your bit for this level of nation building. Because an equitable society, as we know, is good for everyone.
Thank you. It's my incredible pleasure to be here and to be joining the team today.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a chat right now, and a lot of questions will be answered. Could I have the chair? Yeah, sure. Make sure that I don't fall. So, a little more. You were there, right? Okay, so, Safina, first thing is, I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges because what you're working with is the mindset of people, and it's a patriarchal society, and mindset is something that you can't work in one day. It takes so much of time. How did you manage that?
I think we're still managing it. I think we're still, like you said, it isn't an overnight task. But really, if India wakes up tomorrow and believes that our sons and daughters are equal, we wouldn't need and educate girls. So it really is a mindset issue and a mindset problem. And all of us in this room have a hand to play in it. If we change our mindsets and we influence just our own communities to change their mindsets, the problem will be resolved. So.
Absolutely. But did you face like slamming of doors?
Oh my God, totally. People would say, "Ye pagal kutte aa gaye hain." They would slam doors on us. And the polite ones, I remember just last year I was in Bhilwara and we were talking to this mother, and there was a little child who was just crawling across, and she picked up the baby and she says, "Auntie ko tata karo."
Yeah.
Basically just saying ki ab niklo hai mere ghar se, ho gaya bahar. So some people are very polite, some people say chai vai pilo, lekin it's not happening. And then some people just get a little aggressive.
Yeah, and what do you tell yourself at that point of time? Going, when people slam the door, because it's not easy. When you have that going, then you see people not supportive. Sometimes you do feel like giving up. What kept you going?
I think what keeps us going is Jyotsna, right? She needs us. It's really about her. It's not about what they're saying to us. It's immaterial what they say to us. But at the end of the day, we know that if Jyotsna goes to school and she is 500% more likely to educate her children, I only have to get her into school.
Absolutely.
Everything else, she will change it for her own children. So how can you not? I mean, that's just such a motivator.
It's the bigger vision, the mission that you have. Right. And Katrina, your mother she's had a great impact on you. And I believe that she's also been a part of a lot of social causes, right? So what has the influence been on you? How has she impacted you in your life?
Well, I think I have the most wonderful example of when it comes to taking up social causes in the correct way with my mother. My mother, from the last as long as I can remember, has always been involved in charitable causes, different charitable causes. But as of the last few years, she has been working, which I've spoken about a bit on my social platforms. She's been working with this amazing school, which she's built from the ground up, called Mount View School, and this is in Madurai. And the thing that's so wonderful about the school is the teachers, everyone involved in it is actually from the local community, trained by her, because she is a teacher. And I guess that's where, for me, the personal connect with this charity really happened, with Educate Girls. So when Safina contacted me about Educate Girls, we do get a lot of people contacting us, to be very honest, because any cause, any charitable organization, they need that voice for the exact reason which Safina just said, which is that you do get a lot of doors slammed in your face. When you're trying to change the mindset.
Right.
See, it's not just about the tangible resources, it's not just about the physical resources. It's about changing the mindset of the people who don't see the importance of sending their girls to school, who don't have the mindset that boys and girls are equal, and that's still, although we may hear in the metros, and especially now it's become, we hear a lot of talk about it, about equality in our world. That's not necessarily what life is like in what we would call rural India, in the interiors of India. It's that maybe just because we're seeing and talking about it amongst ourselves, it's a great place to start. But what Safina is actually doing is on the grassroots level, from the ground up, she's going into the communities with her team, with Team Balika, not going in saying, this is what I think, so this is the right way, and trying to enforce her or our opinion, where I'm sure everyone in this room is of the opinion that, you know, girls must be educated, that every child must have an education. But she's trying to first go and talk to them in a way that they will understand, not be told what to do. Whether it's the village leaders, the village elders, the parents, getting people who often are the most educated girls or the most educated boys from the local communities to join Team Balika, who then go into that community. So whether it's not an unknown like Safina, it's someone from the community saying, Auntie, you know, can we talk to you for a minute? Or someone who's recognizable to them and saying, these are the reasons and these are the benefits that you must send your daughter to school. Although it sounds on many levels like this is, you know, starting again from the basics, this is still what is happening, and this is still what we, in my opinion, is the number one thing to address, and that is, for me, everything starts with education. Knowledge is power, and when you have that power, you have self-confidence, you have belief in yourself, you then can become empowered to start even thinking about what you want. Today, the girl which Safina is talking about, today she wants to be a teacher, but she knows she wants to be a teacher because she has that education. Without education, she might not even know what she wants. She might not even have that self-awareness to start thinking about what she wants.
In fact, I would like to acknowledge Team Balika that they work with so much of passion, with no intention of making money, and I'm absolutely floored by that. I'm absolutely floored by, you know, the vision they have to spread education in rural India among these girls. So the intention is so very pure. And that brings me to this question, what, in the last 10 years, the experience that you've had, which episode, according to you, is very, very special to your heart and has influenced you and inspired you?
Oh, there's so many. But, I think Team Balikas are really, as you said, the heart of this model. And what's been really inspirational is to see how many, like when we expanded from Rajasthan to Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
We've been in Rajasthan for a long time, and then we were just entering the state and we said, but nobody knows us here. Will people stand up to volunteer? You know, and we started in Jhabua district in Madhya Pradesh. All of you, I'm sure, are aware. It's a very tough geography. It's very, tribal. It's remote. It's a very difficult area to work in. And you won't believe it. We started doing our recruitment events, going and canvassing people. And within 4 months, we had close to 900 young people who had stood up as Team Balika.
Wow.
In a state which was completely brand new.
And you have guys also?
Yes, and 60% of them are young boys and 40% young girls.
Amazing.
And first we used to think maybe it should be only girls or only women. But then we realized that when a young boy who is 12th pass, 18, 19-year-old boy, stands up in his village and says, no, every girl in my village should go to school, it's such a powerful statement. And really the battle for equity isn't just, it's the he for she, it's men and women together. We have to work towards that equity.
Right, makes sense. And Katrina, tell me this, how do you plan to amplify this message, to take this message forward of educating girls?
So, honestly, when I think anyone takes up a cause like this, what I really honestly believe to be my, or what I try to do, or what I believe that is my responsibility to do, is to garner and to gather the awareness. Right. So for example, someone like Safina, who probably to most of you in this room, although we probably are quite known to each other, I probably recognize almost all of you in this room, you probably don't know who Safina is. This is her child, this is her baby, this is something she's worked passionately on since 2005. And sometimes, although maybe even she would prefer someone who's working with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sometimes you need that voice to get the awareness. You need that voice to get the spotlight onto the cause. Now what my responsibility to do is to make sure that I give that voice to a cause which I believe in, to the best of my ability, is delivering what they're promising to do, and is really trying to make a difference, and who has their heart in the right place and is delivering what they say they can do. And the reason again why I think for me Safina and Educate Girls are doing that is because of the way they're addressing and targeting the issue. We all know that education is important. We all know that, you know, boys and girls and the girl child, the boy child must be seen and treated as equal in every household. We all know that. But what they are doing is they're addressing it in a very tangible way. They're starting by changing the mindsets of the village, one village at a time, one community at a time. It may not be in the numbers of hundreds of millions, but I know that's what her target is. I know she wants to grow Team Balika, and she wants that number of 11,001 of today. She wants that number to become 300,000 in a year or two. She wants that every community has this group of youth that have a voice, who are speaking to the elders, who are speaking to the leaders in that village, saying that we must send every child to school. We must send every female child to school. And to have that, if she believes, and if I believe that, you know, me being part of Team Balika is also a bit of an encouragement to them, to the team itself in some way, and is also saying that, you know, this is important. It's underlining for them the fact that this is important, and their efforts are not going unnoticed. Their efforts are being acknowledged. It is the work they're trying to do is making a difference, and that's in my own small way. If I can achieve that, then I'm very happy.
Tell me this, what is the impact of education to girls in rural India? What's that impact going to be?
Well, the first thing that it comes with is according to me, which I said, that knowledge is power. The first thing that comes is them being able to develop inner confidence, knowing who they are, knowing their own value. As Safina said in the statistics, that they will be less likely to face domestic abuse or abuse of any kind. They will be less likely to enter into child marriages. I mean, these two reasons are, you don't even need anything else to be said after that. Without that, they are never going to know their value. I mean, there are some pictures which Chef Safina showed me in their material, which they were discussing, and then immediately I noticed in the picture that the father is sitting on the chair and the mother is still sitting on the floor. That's still the way it is. And the child in the picture who they're referring to, who's a girl, is sitting on the floor even further. That in itself to me said everything. There's so much to be said. Sometimes they say a picture speaks 1,000 words. And if what we can do, and if you ask what is the importance, for me, education, and for any girl, for any person, education and knowledge is power. It's the first step into knowing yourself and to knowing your potential.
You know, so this brings me to this question, Sabrina, that what are your future plans? What is your vision forward? You know, where is this going to go? I was reading up your planning after 8th, till 8th. What can we expect from Educate Girls?
So currently we work with class 1 to 8, and now girls like Jyotsna are actually getting to the 8th, and so now we're laying our plans to think how do we help them get in and complete secondary school and complete their 10th grade. Because completing the 10th is the certificate that's going to be so valuable to her. Nowadays, even if you want to stand for panchayat elections, you need a 10th certificate. You want some of the basic jobs, that's the minimum qualification. So we want to make sure that our girls are getting, and we're supporting them so that they can actually complete the 10th grade and they make it. And then also providing them safe spaces as they get older and get into adolescence. Things get much more complex. Walking to school can become difficult because koi raaste mein chhed deta hai and stuff. So making sure that they are safe, that they have safe spaces, not just that they working on their own confidence, as Katrina said, because that's really important, but also working on an enabling environment in the village. So we're looking at creating councils at the village level that can support adolescent girls, because there's so much more pressure on them to get married, and there's so much more pressure on them from society, that really creating a support structure so that Jyotsna doesn't have to end at 8th grade, that she can go well beyond.
Thank you so much. And Katrina, tell me this, we all look up to you. Men, women, everyone, you're an inspiration. What are your 3 mantras, all the women out there, all the girls out there who look up to you, what are your 3 mantras to be successful?
Well, I mean that you could. There's so many ways of seeing it, but to keep it short and simple, I would say belief, confidence, and perseverance.
Belief,
Confidence and perseverance.
Okay, and Safina, your last thought.
My last thought is I'm really happy that Katrina is on board, because I know that the 11,000 Team Malika volunteers on the ground today are going to feel so energized.
Absolutely.
And I know that this will motivate many more young people to join the cause, so that we could really make sure that every single girl is going to school.
Thank you so much, Safina. Thank you so much, Katrina. I'd just like to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we women are nurturers, we are nation builders, and it's so important to educate nation builders, because they are going to transform the nation, and indirectly, we all are going to transform the world. So educate women and transform the world. And on that note, we'll open the house for questions.